It's time, baby. Double Up Champ back with another video. Today, we're going to be finding out who's the king of Africa, man. Is it going to be Duplessis or Usman? That's what we're going to break down today. Recap last week, man. Royval played spoiler in the parlay, submitting Kavanaugh. That was tough to see. I was pretty high on Kavanaugh. So to see him not get the finish there when he had him hurt a couple times sucked. Um, Sandman didn't get it done either. I was expecting a vet master class, but we didn't get that either. But Patty came through with the sub, and that was impressive, man. First round sub on BSD. A couple of those fights I called to a T, man. Patty fight, the Bobby and McKinney fight, we call Bobby there. That was a good dog call. I low key called that fight to a T. Um, but all in all, the car was good. Unfortunately, the Mac came out and blew his knee out in the first like 5 seconds, so people did not get what they wanted with the return of the Mac. But it is what it is, man. This week, coming back with some fire. Duplessis versus Usman. Main card predictions. Without further ado, our first fight of the night. Tommy Gun McMillan versus Montez here. This one opened up kind of as a pick. McMillan was a dog, actually, and his line has completely flipped. He's sitting at like minus 170. This is going to be a great fight. Great way to open up the card, man. I think the last few weeks they've done really good with the main card opener and kind of like setting the tone for the cards, man. Diego with the White House card, Bobby and Terrence, last week's card, man, and then this one's gonna be fireworks, man. We got Striker and McMillan coming in 10-0, man. If you've watched his highlights, he is all gas, no brakes, man. He's throwing hands. He's got chokes, but dude loves to swing, loves to throw down. He's not afraid of the action. Montez, man, he's a good boxer. He's got some tight, clean striking, but his go-to is the submission, man. He's good with the front chokes and like the darces and stuff like that. So um, to me, he just seems like a one-trip pony, and he's kind of outsized in the 6 foot to 5'7", man, giving up a lot of reach. I just think the hands and volume at this weight class, like we're not really gonna expect like a one-punch knockout necessarily, but like if we're talking volume, McMillan's gonna be there throwing, and I feel like him just being well versed in the grappling and the striking, I think he's gonna stick and move and keep Montez off him until Montez is on that back foot, and then McMillan's all gas until the finish, man. So give me McMillan inside the distance, man. He could club and sub. I could see Montez sticking his head into something, but on the same token, I could see Montez just TKOing them with volume. Or sorry, McMillan TKOing them with volume. So just give me McMillan inside the distance, baby. Let's get it. All right, man. Tabitha Ricci, Baby Shark versus Fatima Klein, man. Fatima coming in as a wide favorite as minus 500. Baby Shark plus 370, man. I don't know. The way with these women fights, for one, we don't like to bet on unless it's like higher level, and it's gotta be lock. I don't suggest throwing chalk on Fatima Klein. I think she's gonna win, but that's gonna be my pick. Fatima Klein. It's kind of the same thing with the McMillan and Montez fight. 5-1 to 5-6. Like Tabitha Ricci, we know her base, and she's gonna be like wrestling her ass off and everything. But I just don't think Fatima Klein will wilt to a lady that's 5-1. I mean, like it just not very favorable for Tabitha Ricci. I think Klein's got her on the feet. And yeah, Ricci's got the grappling, but I just can't imagine 5-1 holding down 5'6", man. Giving up 6 inches of reach. Much younger girl. Um, I think she's just gonna be way more dynamic on the feet, and Even if Ricci gets her down, I think um you know they kind of found out what Ricci was, so they're not really gonna push her to the top as much as they want Fatima. And with these girl fights, if it hits the cards, man, it was like maybe it was like a smother fest, and Ricci was on Fatima more than we liked. I still think they'll lean Fatima, so give me Fatima. Um, I don't know. Ricci's tough though for being 5-1. Give me Fatima by points. All right, baby. Chase Hooper versus Mitch Ramirez, man. This one's disgusting. I don't expect any of y'all to touch this, and if you do, man, I understand it. I do think it's set up for Chase Hooper to win, like minus 400. Um, they gave him some steps up in competition, and he failed miserably with Hernandez. And then his last fight against Lance Gibson Jr., man, getting starts in back-to-back fights is not always a good look, especially when the UFC was trying to build this guy and kind of give him a name, and he has made a name for himself. But if we're talking bets, man, don't touch this fight. I do think Chase wins it though, probably by decision or submission, but um, I wouldn't trust it until I can see it. And yeah, this is just unbettable for me. A couple cans, way better fights to bet on, man. Don't lay your money because if your parlay gets spoiled because you threw Chase Hooper in it and you didn't learn from the last two times, that's just you gotta hang it up. Call the number, bro. Like, stop putting Chase Hooper in your parlay. Stop putting these scrubs in there. There's better fights, man. That's why I only bet mainly the main event and maybe like prelim, the feature prelim. But other than that, man, these fights are scrubby. So Chase Hooper, Mitch Ramirez. You heard the break. All right, you heard my prediction. Chase probably by submission, man. But if you're gonna play anything, play that or Mitch Ramirez money line. That's the only value in that. If you throw Chase Hooper money line, get out. All right, baby. Co-main event. Old dog versus new dog. Who's gonna take it home, man? Cannonier versus Duncan. Duncan coming in at minus 400. Cannonier plus 295. Cannonier, the much smaller guy, but we know what Cannonier is. He's a shorter, stockier guy, wings, big shots, man. He's got power in the hands, and he's got wrestling in his back pocket. He'll pull that out and win a fight if he has to, man. But if y'all know anything about Cannonier, he's there to be hit and cracked. Whether you put him out or just wobble him is one thing. But I think Duncan's way too young and athletic not to put his hands on Cannonier and put him out. Like, a lot of people will highlight that G-Rod win for Cannonier. But man, Cannonier dropped him so bad twice in that fight. Like, y'all got to stop just looking at the results and actually watch that fight. G-Rod had him dead to rights twice, and then G-Rod being the known gasser who hurt him twice and didn't finish him twice, gassed out, and Cannonier poured it on him. Like, are we surprised that G-Rod fumbled that win after not finishing him? And we've seen it time and time again, like with Ilya Taporia not finishing Gaethje in the second and it coming back, and you just have that dump of adrenaline and endurance, I guess. Like, it just depletes your gas tank when you don't get that finish. So you might be looking at a big, tall, bald, scary guy fighting Cannonier again and be like, well, he did it to G Rod, so he could do it to CLD, man. But nah, like, this ain't fantasy land. Christian Leroy Duncan's about to spark Cannonier, actually put him out. I'm gonna say round one or round two TKO. I think maybe Cannonier does revert to the wrestling because he's been cracked so much in fights, but ultimately I think he's gonna get hit with something nasty, and Yeah, it's just the old dog ain't got the reflexes, and he just don't got it anymore, man. Give me CLD by knockout. All right, baby, we made it. Main event time. We got Dragos du Plessis versus Kamara Usman battle for the King of Africa. Man, this is actually a crazy fight. I remember when this was like first talked about or spoke about, and I was so excited. I'm a big fan of Duplessis. One of my favorite fighters, I'd say. And man, this one, Usman coming in at dog money, but you can never count out Usman, man. He is a complete fighter. Dude has always shown he can get it done. 21-4 throughout his career, only fighting the best. Like, you know who I'm talking about. They're all retired now, but he's fought the who's who, man. Duplessis, same thing with him. He's fought like the newer generations who's who. Like, I feel like this one, few years ago, if it was for Usman, it might look a little better for him. But I think Duplessis is just too young, too fast, um, too reckless, man. I just don't see Usman surviving a 25-minute fight with someone with the gas tank of Duplessis and the heart of like a lion. I get this fight has a lot of like personal meaning behind the two, and um it might motivate them to fight a little harder and Usman pushing through certain situations, and same thing with Duplessis. But um I see Usman mixed in the grappling. I think this is going to be a complete fight. I think it's going to be drawn out for a while. Uh, I think at first Usman will look pretty technical and be sticking his jab, mixing in the wrestling, man. Duplessis will be throwing his heat, trying to work his way into the fight. But I imagine as the rounds go on, Duplessis seems to do better as the fights go on. Like he doesn't will. He actually like gets energy from seeing his opponent will. So I imagine when he starts seeing Kamara fading a little bit, I think Duplessis is going to step on the gas, use that just raw brute strength that he's got, man, and eventually have his way with Kamara. I could see him TKOing him or choking him out with a little club and sub, um, hurting Usman. Usman shoots, and Duplessis. I mean, you don't got to be a black belt in jiu-jitsu to like cinch up a choke, man. If Duplessis cracks him, and Usman's been wrestling a whole lot, I could see Usman sticking his head straight into a choke. Man, you're not in the right headspace when you're cracked, and I imagine um, a lot of people might be playing the knockout or points, but I think submission's live, man. I was sitting there before the Izzy and Duplessis fight a while ago, man, and I was thinking, I'm like, dude, Duplessis could club and sub him, and it got nasty there at the end, and he ended up, if I ended up hitting the ground, and we got a tired opponent on the ground, man, the next there to be choked, man. So don't sleep on the submission prop. Ultimately, Duplessis' money line is gonna have to be the play. If I had to guess, I'm gonna say third round TKO, but like I said, don't sleep on the submission. Those are the plays for this week's main card. Duplessis versus Usman, man. Like, subscribe, share, man. I'm trying to get on the map. This week's bets, we're keeping it nice and simple. It's like a plus 200. Um, we threw a little extra money on it this week, but we like to keep it simple and safe, man. Haven't hit a bet in a couple weeks, man. McGregor, well, I guess best I posted on the Reddit. We did hit a four leg last week, but I didn't give that one out. We went 1 for 3 on the one I did. But this week, man, we're coming back plus 200. Give me Duplessis, give me Christian Leroy Duncan, and give me Tommy McMillan for your 3 leg. And that's all I got for this week, baby. Let's get some money. Let's double up with the champ. Peace.